Hey, what is up, guys? It is Bart coming at you yet again with another microphone test video. And as you can see, I am in my makeshift, not quite finished studio. So, this is where the magic will start happening again for the Back Row Fantasy Show, for obscure mics, so on and so forth. I don't even have my camera. Having to use my phone because I don't know where I put my phone my camera batteries. So anyways, thanks for joining me. Thanks for putting up with the non-finished studio so we can talk about today the Aston Stealth. I'm very essy. The Aston Stealth. So we can talk about the Aston Stealth. Special surprise, this is a double review with Audio Hotline. Bronson at Audio Hotline, we're both doing the Aston Stealth. So again, double review, Audio Hotline and Obscure Mics releasing the Aston Stealth on the same day. Same mic, same review, same channel. Not same channel, different channels. So anyways, I have the Aston Stealth in the studio with me. Okay. This thing is very nice. Because of my limitations in this new space that I have moved into, I'm going to show you the mic like I did old school. The Aston Stealth looks like a huge member. We have different modes on it. Audio Hotline will definitely show you these modes better than I can right now. But essentially, this microphone has four different mics built into it, sort of. You've got a V1 setting that is for, they say male voice. Hate to generalize, but for the male voice. You've got a V2 setting for higher frequency voices, female, high-pitched male. For that, a G mode for guitar and a D mode for dark, ribbon emulation, basically. So, the Aston Stealth is a dynamic microphone with a built-in preamp, basically a built-in cloud lifter. That's really cool. So, if you have a microphone and a cloud lifter and you want to take some things out of your audio chain, which I kind of did. I had some Cathedral Pipes, Durham preamps, and to have those in the middle of your, XLR cables, and to have those have to sit somewhere, they had to sit far apart because they would interfere if they got really close. It's kind of nice to just have that built in. So, you can turn on phantom power and get more gain. A lot more gain, as you'll see in a few minutes. So, we got passive mode, we've got active mode. Passive mode, no phantom power. This is operating like any other dynamic mic, and I am using the Alesis Multi-Mix 4, a pretty decent little mixer that is very well made and very sturdy. I'm using that to power this in passive mode at the moment, and this is how it sounds. Peter Piper picked a patch of pickled pineapples. So, like I've said before, they claim that this foam piece in the end of the microphone is part of what will keep the plosives to a minimum. It does okay. Like, you don't absolutely have to have a pop filter. It does do okay. I will say that. Especially at a side angle, Peter Piper picked a patch of pickled pineapples. It does fine, but I would still like to have, which I'm going to make my own end address pop filter, and I'll share that with you guys when I'm done. A little soldering, some oddball materials. I'm going to make one for it because I like this mic a lot. And I would like to be able to have the option to speak directly into it if need be. Since I did that, let's proximity effect this up a little bit. If you get right up on the Aston Stealth in passive mode, this is what it sounds like. This is going to be a longer video because we've yet to even turn on Phantom Power. So, Aston Stealth, I definitely had it kind of far away from me. I just realized that. Passive mode, this is what it sounds like. I'm going to have to crank the gain way down to turn Phantom Power on, and then we'll go through the different modes, because this microphone sounds pretty good in passive mode. It sounds a hell of a lot better in active mode, which is the Phantom Power. So I'm going to turn this down. We're going to go to Phantom Power, and we're going to go from there. Bear with me, because on my Rodecaster, this thing was set at a 5. You can go up to 45, I think, or 50. It was set at a 5. And it was loud. So, to my dismay, hopefully this don't blow my socks off, let's turn on Phantom Power and go through some more modes. Okay. Woo! See how loud that is? It's way down. Way down. Okay, that's still too loud. Let's go down a little more on the gain. Okay, so now we are in active mode. Phantom Power is turned on. I have my level set to... My gain is set to like a 2. Like, it is almost zeroed out. The preamp in this thing is extremely, extremely powerful. If I don't get the sound levels correct, forgive me. I apologize. This is a mic that you've got to figure out how to dial in beforehand. I don't see anybody really using it in passive mode, because the active mode has just a richer sound to it. It's a better sound. It's nice to have that passive mode if you've got a device that doesn't provide Phantom Power, but the active mode is definitely a lot better. Okay, so we're using the V1 mode currently, and this is how the microphone sounds. Well, the dogs are finer. Okay, now let's switch over. I'm just going to do little singing clips in between. As you can tell, I feel like my voice is Stone Temple Pilotish. Anyways, let's switch over to the V2. It's got a rotating dial. All right. So now we're on the V2 setting. This is for the higher frequency voices. We're going to have to take that down a notch on this one too. Man, it's crazy. Okay, so this is the V2. We're getting dangerously close to clipping on this. Okay, so now we're in the V2 mode. This is intended for higher frequency voices, or female, as they say, kind of derogatory, but that's it. You got to describe it somehow. I mean, we have different voices sometimes. I do know a girl that has a super deep voice, and she's cool as heck. She might want to use V1. Neil from the Back Row Fantasy Show and his high-pitched laugh, he might want to use V2. So it's not specifically set for genders, so to speak. But anyways, this is the V2 setting on the Aston Stealth. Well, the dogs will find her. Got time to wait for tomorrow. Okay, that's how that sounds. For comparison's sake, let's switch back to V1 for just a moment. Now we are back on V1. It is darker. And I've noticed, you go back to V1 and you need to get it a little more gain to get those levels close again. So I bumped my gain 1 by 1. I don't know what, maybe 1%. Bumped it to 1%. Let's go back down and go back to the V2. It is a very interesting way to switch sounds, a turn dial. It's different. I think I like it. So we're back to the V2 mode, and this is what that sounds like. Let's go to the guitar mode, even though it's not meant for the voice. All right, now we're on the guitar mode, and that is thin. And thin, maybe it sounds good on the video, but to my ears, it's very thin. Miking instruments. Only thing I can think of, only use for that. Well, the dogs will find her. Okay. let's go to the D mode, the dark mode, and see how that sounds. I'm interested. I've not turned this on yet. Okay, so I'm going to bump the gain up just a little. This is the dark mode. This is what I could envision doing a movie trailer for. We'll do Debbie Does Dallas Part 2. She's from a small town in Texas. The first go-round, 7,500 men came. Literally. Debbie Does Dallas 2. Double the men, double the came. That made no sense. Okay, so this is the dark mode, and this is what it sounds like. You want to talk about dark. That's dark. That's darker than the darkest logger out there. I'm not sure what I would use this for, but I mean, that narration, movie trailer, I don't know. It may sound interesting on the tape. So I am very curious to hear that for sure. Well, I'm going to turn that down before I do that. Well, the dogs will find her. Got time to wait for tomorrow. To find it. Very strange. I don't know. Let's go back to V1. I feel like it suits me best. The dark may suit me as well, with just a little bit of a presence boost added. Tiny bit. Let's go back to V1. So it's actually really easy to turn that dial. It's not bad at all. So this is the Aston Stealth. We've went through all the modes. Let's talk about a few more things real quick. So the build of the microphone is all metal until you get to the top. Right here, where I'll show you the the grill on the side. That is plastic. From there up is plastic, and I'm not offended by that. I mean, I don't plan on dropping this microphone. This thing's $400. I'm not dropping a $400 mic. So, no plans to drop it. I'm going to keep it in a case, in the box, and protect this thing because it's a very good mic in my opinion. Now, the mounting system. I've seen some criticism on the mounting system. I have no qualms with it. I'm going to show you that. Okay, so now I'm holding this big flaccid bastard, and this is the mounting system. It's very different. It is an insert, so to speak. And on the bottom of the microphone, if you can see here, you got the gap there to insert said microphone. Snaps right in. Snaps in. Still has, you can adjust it just like any other mic. You may need to tighten it up once you find your adjustment point, which I'm having problems with. Okay, so now we're tightened up. The only issue I have is the mic is somewhat heavy, and with that system, I feel like if you mess with the mic too much, it will become a little looser. So you want to find your optimal point and then tighten it with my right hand, apparently. You want to find your optimal point. You want to get it tight. Get it tight. Get it right. That's the only flaw in that system I see. Heavy mic hanging on essentially a 1-inch dangle dongle, and it can get loose if you mess around with it. Now, if you didn't notice when you're in active mode, you have some LED lighting to let you know you're in active mode. That also can be turned off with this switch. It doesn't turn off phantom power. It doesn't do anything except turn the lights off. I kind of like them, so I'm going to leave the lights on. Leave the lights on. Yeah. Leave the lights on. Be a little crazy. Turn the lights on. So, the Aston Stealth, in my opinion, it's a fantastic microphone. I love this thing. I have loved it from the day I got it, which was like 3 days ago. I used it on the Back Row Talk Show. Oh, yeah. Sorry. The Back Row Talk Show, a new podcast I'm doing. Allergies. And Bronson from Audio Hotline came on the show. And we talked audio and we talked John Wick. So, the Back Row Talk Show, episode 2. If you'd like to hear me and Bronson from Audio Hotline chat like we do quite a bit, that episode is out there. We talk about John Wick as well. It was a good time. Always a good time with Bronson. But this microphone is awesome. Green light all day. I love this thing. It might be the mic for me, very possibly. Further testing will reveal whether that's the case or not. So, Aston Stealth, I love it. $3.99 if you would like to buy it. Hard to find used already. Link in the description down below. Thanks for watching in the makeshift studio. Now I gotta go, bro. Have a great day. Go with the flow. I'm just rhyming for no reason, man. Obscure mics. Peace out. Have a great day.